the SQL. Okay. Let me open SQL Server. Hope everyone is practicing SQL in SSMS, right? Okay. We have discussed so far all these topics, right? We have discussed like all these topics like nulls, update, delete, top, min, max, alias, join, like union. We haven't discussed. I will discuss that today. And the self join we haven't discussed, and we have discussed something like a full order, the joins, types of joins, and like how we can able to perform these joins on top of the tables, and like what is the use of this join. All these things we have discussed so far. Any doubts on like on the topics which we have covered? Any doubts, any queries, or any questions on this?
No, Anil.
Okay,
No.
okay, then that's good. Everything is clear, right? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. We will see like a few more topics, something like self and union and group by having and exist, and we will see something like mm, store procedures. We will see case and we'll see comments. We'll see like if time permits, we'll cover a few more topics. Okay. Okay. First, what we will do, we will try to create one table first. To perform the self join, right? What I will try to create one table. Okay. Let me take new query. Create table employees employment primary key and name varchar 100 and manager ID. Int. Okay. Just I will create this table. Okay. Select star from employees. Okay. Yeah, we can able to see the schema, the employee ID, name and manager ID. And now, like we will insert a few records into this. Insert into employees, employee ID, and a name, manager ID, and values. One comma, none. Two. Okay, and these are the employee IDs, and these are the names, and these are the manager IDs. Now, just I will insert these records into employee table. Okay, now four rows got affected. Now, let me write a select query. Star from employees. See, we can see the some data. Now we want to perform self join. See, previously we have done something like different types of joins we have performed. Something like inner join, left join, right join, full outer join. Like that, we have performed like different types of joins, and We have seen the difference between the inner, left, right, and outer. We have seen the different what I can say like difference. Now, there, whenever you are performing some join, right, you are performing the joinings between two tables, between two, or like we can perform something like n number of tables. There is no specific limit. Only you have to perform the joins on between these tables only. It is not something like that. You can perform join on n number of tables. And like here, right? Whenever we are like there, you are performing on different tables. But when it comes to the self, right? It is something like the inner like within a table, we are going to perform a join. Within a table, we are going to perform a join. Our scenario is something we want to find out the manager names based upon the employee ID, for example. Based upon the employee ID, we want to perform. We need to segregate the data. Okay, how you want to segregate the data? Let me go here. Select e dot employees. E dot employee ID. Let me take employee ID, comma, and e dot name as manager, or else I will put this as employee. Employee name. And m dot name as manager name. From which table we are performing this one? Like we want to perform on employees only. E. This we are marking as a E. And like we want to perform the join, right? For that, just I will put something like left employees. Here I will put something like M. See, like previously we have added something like alias, right? Either you can put something alias, something alias, some name you can give, or else you can give some space and you can provide some value. That also it will accept. And on which you want to perform the join on employee ID versus manager ID. E dot manager ID equals to m dot employee ID. See here, like E also same table and M also same table. Just we are calling same values from the same table. But what we are doing, like we are doing the self join, and we give something like alias here, and it needs to keep all the data from the left side and parallelly, and based upon this manager ID equals to employee ID, the data must be populated on the rest of the values on the manager name, right? Let me run this. Select query. See, you can see Raju and Mari. These are the managers. These are the managers, and Raju don't have the manager, and Mari is having the manager. More for Mari, Raju is the manager. For Mari and for Mahesh, Raju is the manager, and for Neelam and Ravi, Mari is the manager. How we got these two values? Because we have something like the manager IDs 1 and 2 here. If you observe here, you can see something like the manager IDs 1 and 2. Only 1 and 2. Here, if you observe, we are comparing manager ID with employee ID. We are comparing the manager ID with employee ID. Whenever we do something like a comparison, like only the matching values it needs to select, right? When here, if you see, only one and two are the matching values for these manager IDs. So, it will keep that is a null and rest of the values, like if here wherever it is one, and it is going to populate as a Raju, and wherever it is two, and like it is going to populate as a Mar. See, whenever you are having such a scenarios, right? Whenever you want to perform some self joins and you have to extract some data, and you need to populate in another field, in that case, we will perform this kind of join. This is something like a self join. We have the manager ID and employee. See, this is the output for this, and we are selecting the employee ID and the name as a employee name, and the name as a manager name. And we are selecting these fields, and pose is what we are doing, and these fields we are getting something like the left in the sense from this table we are getting these two fields. And here what is happening, like it holds all the data, and when it comes to here, right, whatever the data is matching based upon this, right, only that data it is going to populate in M side. Whatever the data is matching, only that data it is going to populate. This kind of joins we'll call it as a self join on same table. Any doubts in this? Hello? Any doubts, any questions before moving to next topic? Because if you are getting right, then it's okay. If you are not getting, then I'll try to explain in different case. Okay,
From my side.
it's clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anil, I just have a question.
Okay.
You're in line number 15, we are giving e dot employee ID, right? It has
Yeah.
to be only e over here, or how is it?
No, you can give anything. Here, see, just I'll give something A here. No, why I gave E, right? For employees, I took just reference for my reference, I took as a E.
Okay.
See, like if you are having something like a number of tables, right? Here we have only two tables. Like why I am giving something like this? For example, I have something like employee table, and I have something like a sales table, and I have something like customer table. I like this. I'm having different tables. Just I will give, like instead of giving A, right, I will give something like alias as a E for this, and instead of giving some B, right, I will give alias as yes, and instead of giving some X Y random name, right, just I will give something like a C. So whenever I see something like E, I will get to know this is something like employee table. Whenever I see some this letter, right, I'll get to know this data is coming from sales table. If I give A, right, I don't know like why I'm using A.
Okay.
Just for our reference.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Some code, just for our understanding. But okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we will do some union. Okay. Here just I will use same table, and we don't want primary keys and all for union, and let it be. And instead of manager ID, I will use something like department. See, like why we use this union, right? Whenever you want to perform, like whenever you want to merge two tables, right? During that time, we will use this union operator, and what it will do, it will combine the result of two tables. It will combine like whatever the values are exist in the two tables, right? It will combine all the data. Okay, and like but here one thing, like the columns must be same. Whatever the columns exist in table A, and same columns must be exist in table B, then only we can able to merge. Then if the columns are different, right, then we'll get some error, something like the schema mismatch error we will get. Just I'm creating these two tables. Yeah, command executed successfully 2024 and 2025. And now let me try to insert some data. Okay, three rows got affected. Now what I will do, just I will change this file and let me remove this one and I will remove this four as well. So three as well. And I will put it here ID. Just and now I will insert only these or else like let me add something. Yeah, three rows affected. And if we run these two tables, right, we can see select star from fine. Execute. Yeah, we are able to see something like 1, 2, 3 here and 2, 4, 5 here. All right, something we can see some data here. Now, what I want to do, I want to perform the union on these two tables. Okay, and how we will do something like union, right? Here, just I will put select list of star, comma, and in comma department. Okay. Here, what like see while performing the union, right, even if the schema mismatch happens, right? So, like assume like in this table you have something like 20 columns, and assume in this table you have something around 50 columns, and like when you are performing some union, right? You can select something like this, whichever the fields you want to club and you want to perform some union, right? You can select only those fields, like whatever the fields you are selecting here, and same fields must match in same order in the secondary table as well. See, even if you select some order, right, like front and back, so it will select something with the employee ID first, and if you put something like the department first, right, then again it is unable to predict like again the data mismatch will happen, and it will not like some data what I can say, like you can't expect same data, proper data. Okay, now what we will do, something like union. You have to add union function here. So pause it, just execute this. See, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have something like the all as between all. See, whenever you can see some difference here, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5. Here you are getting some duplicate here, right? You are getting some duplicate. And whenever we perform some union, right, we should not get that. In union all, basically, we will get the duplicate rate. In union, we won't get that. See, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it will take all the fields. The union all will take even the duplicate values as well. But union will skip the duplicates. It will allow only the actual value. See, you're getting 2 is repeating here again. 2 is repeating again. But in union, it will be removed. Only it will take the unique values. See, it skipped. Okay, something like this, we can able to perform something like union and union all. This is the difference between union and union all. Like just if you want to club two tables, for that it is mainly used. Any doubts in this? Any queries or any questions, any doubts before moving into the next topic? Okay, we have something like a group by. Group by is mainly used for like whenever you want to perform like some aggregation kind of data, right? And on top of that, you want to group some data based upon some field. For that, the group by is mainly used. And already we have discussed on aggregations. The aggregations means something like count, min, max, and average and sum. Already we have discussed all these aggregations, like how we can do this. And like whenever you want to perform something like sum of the salary of each and every department, you want to sum and you want to check like how much you are paying for each and every department. Or else you want to take the count, like how many people are working in this department. Or else you want to take some average salary of that each and each department. And you want to check something like the minimum and maximum salary. Okay, for that it is mainly used. Let's take one table here. From here, let's take one table. I will take the customer table. We'll see. Is there any chance to perform the group by? Select star from Control Z. Anything to perform? We don't have much here. I will take something like product. There is a chance I think in product table. Yeah, in product table, I will perform some group by on this color. Okay, we'll perform group by on color. Like how it will be used. For example, I want to take a count. I want to take a count of each and every product. Okay, I want to take each and every count of each and every product. Like how many products are exist in the black exam. Okay, now what I will do? Select. Mm, what else do we have? Okay, we will take the product number here. Okay, just I will add product number here. Number, product number here, select product number, and now I want to take the count. Now I want to take a count of product category ID. ID from sales product table, group by color. Here what I am doing, I am selecting two fields here. One is product number and another one is product category ID. And I am taking these two fields, product number and product category ID. And I am taking the count on the product category ID. And here I will put some alias here, and because I will get some name, just I don't want that name. I want something like uh, count. I will put some count of product category. Just I put something the count of product category, and just I will group by on the color. Now we will see the invalid selecting because not contain either or aggregated function. Product number. Here instead of the count here it just I will put product. Yeah, now this issue will be resolved. After this already we have inserted some data, that we will take that data. Okay, we can see some uh, data here, something like IT, finance, sales. Okay, let me insert some other field. 6 and 7. I have inserted a few more fields. Like we have around 7 fields, 7 rows. Yeah, we have around 7 rows and different. I assume like you're having different like employee ID, department, and all, right? Now, just we want to take the total count. We want to take something like the total count. Now, on what basis we want to take? Let's select. We will select the department first. Department. And on department wise, like how many departments, how many employees are working in each and every department. We want some count here. Come, count star as just total employees. Just I want to take something like this from employee 2024 table group by on department. See, we are getting different departments. We will see whether like whatever the count we are getting here is that exactly matching or not. If you see here on consulting, we have two here, and Ravi and Mani. These two people are working in consulting department. So see here we are getting something like two here, and finance one. We have only the one finance department, and HR only we have one HR, and like IT we have two ITs, and sales we have one sale. Something like if you want to perform the group by on specific department or specific field, and just you want to find out some count, then like for that this is used like to perform the count, like not only the count, you can take some sum as well. Like whenever you are having whenever you want to perform sum, right, just you can perform sum on the specific the price field, the salary field, and you can take sum and you can perform the group by. Whenever you perform some group by, right, then like automatically like it will remove the duplicate. What it will do, it will remove the duplicate. It will club that as a one value. It will select that field as a one value. See, it is selecting that as a one field, and post that it is giving the total employees who is working under this, something like that. Okay, it is like the group. What it will do, it will avoid the duplicates. It will avoid the duplicates, and what it will do, it will make that as a one field, and it will perform sum or aggregated transformations. The sum or count or min or max or average, all this logic will be performed. The aggregation transformation will be performed on that particular field, on whichever the field you want to perform. Getting or not getting, is that clear? Why we will use this group?
Yes, Sunil.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can perform. We have something like the sales cost, right? For example, standard cost. Select uh, color, and just I want to perform the sum on standard cost, and you can as total underscore standard cost. I'll put something like this from sales product, and group a color. Okay, just see, we got some data here. And if you take black, this is the total standard cost for black color. And if you take blue, this is the total standard cost for blue color. And this is the gray, this is for multi. Like this, you can perform the group by on and you can do some transformation. If you want to find out some average, just you have to put average here. See, this is the average price. See, the price has been varied, and you want to find some minimum value, you can find that as well. Just you have to put some minimum. You'll get the minimum value for all the colors. See, these are the minimum price for the total standard cost. And if you want to max, you want to find out some max, just you have to max here. So see, the price is going to, you'll get something like a maximum price for that particular field on the color basis. It will group this color, and then it will find out this max. What is the maximum apart from all the fields, and then it will display here. Okay, like this the group by will be performed, and it is on top of the aggregation transformations. Okay, yeah, okay. And we have something like a having. See, having is something like similar to the where class only. The having is similar to the where class only. And if you want to perform any filter, like if you want to apply any filter post to group by, for that this having will be used. For that this having will be used. And like along with this group by, right? If you want to perform this having class, right? Having class, for that this will be used. Having is something like the filtering to filter the data post group. Post to group by, if you want to apply, you can give that. How this having will be applied, and you want to select something like the specific data, or else like you want to perform something like what I can say, uh, like you want to select something like the greater than some value or the less than some value, and post applying the group by it, and you want to find out something like I will show you. We have already applied some group by here, right? And post this, right? You want to apply something. Just I will take this the total standard cost, and here, right? And I want to select the data which is greater than 35. Example, just greater than 35 point something. Okay, now what I will do, having having the total standard cost greater than, I will select this value and I will put it here. See, and here if you observe, we are getting something around 10 rows we are getting. Post applying, the row count will be reduced. Okay, yeah. See, previously we have something around like whenever we see here, let me select only this field. Here you are getting 10 rows, right? Now you are getting the 4 rows. Let me run this. See, here you are getting 2 or 10 rows, and these two records are getting skipped. 35 and 33. The silver, black, and white. These two rows are skipping here after applying the having. What it will do, it is something like a post applying the group by. If you want to add some transformation, like here, if you add something like the where class, right, it won't work. It won't work here. Like if you want to apply, if you want to filter the data at post performing the group by, and if you try to apply the where class, it will not work. Okay, and whenever you use something like the having class will help you to filter the data based upon like post applying the group. having class will help you to apply the filter post applying the group by. Then whatever the logic you have applied here, and accordingly the data will be filtered. The data will be filtered. For that, this having class will be used. Having class, always you have to remember, post applying the group by only, we will apply the having class, and the where class will be applied just to filter the data. And like if you want to filter the data, then you can't able to like before group by, right? If you apply something like the where class, right, it won't work here. It won't work here. Whenever you are performing the group by, right, you can't able to filter. And post the group by only, you have to filter the using something like a having class. And even if you apply something like a where class here, right, it will throw some error. It will give some error. Okay. And post that having class, if you want to sort your data, and you can sort the data and like however you want. And like so order by, you can use something like order by, and you can put some number, some name here, field name, on which field you want to sort. Accordingly, the data will be sorted. See, the data has been sorted, something like this. If you want to sort, you can sort. Any doubts in this? Like the how the having will be used? Having, see, always the having will be used post applying the group by only. If I add this before this, right, definitely it will throw some error. See, syntax error. And instead of having, right, just I will use something like the where the standard cost. Okay. It has been filtered. Like if you want to filter the post group by, right, then you have to use the having. Then now the data is different here. If you observe, the data is quite different. Post applying the group, if you want to apply some filter, right, for that the having will be used basically. Any doubts in this having? Hello. Hello. Team, are you there? Getting, not getting? Any queries? Any issues? Okay. Okay. We'll move to the next topic. And like we have seen something like exist, right? Exist is something like uh, whenever you want to take some input, right? Like uh, how this exist will be used. Like whenever you're having something like a two tables, and you want to select some fields on another table, and you want to pass that data into another table. For that, this will be used. The exist will be used. Like just for whether to check that. For example, I will write. I will show you some. I will show you like how we can write some syntax. For example, select columns from some table here. I will take some x y z. I will put something like x y z. Y z. From this table, I have selected. Okay. Now where here what this will do? This what this where clause will do. This will be dependent on another query. This where clause is dependent on another query. Here what we will write some query here like exist ex I exist, and post is we will write select some specific column. Some specific column we will add the column name. Column from, and here I will give some name here. What I will give? I will give some ABC. Assume this is the ABC, and you can put some filter here, where on column equals to some name. Okay. Assume this is the query. Now, if you observe here, here I am selecting few fields from XYZ table, and here what I am doing, here also I am selecting some data from ABC table, and whatever the data I have selected from the ABC table, and that data I am passing further another table to select the specific columns based upon this output. This we will call it as a inner query, and these are the actual columns which we are fetching from the another table, and this is dependent on this. And whenever you are running this query, and first this will execute the inner query, and post that this query, the actual query will be executed, because it consumes this as the input for this where class, and post this only this will be executed. For example, we have something like the employee and the customer table we have, right? Customer star from customer. Select. Yeah, we are getting some data here, and I will go to the customer as well. Customer address. Okay, I am getting some data. Now what I will do, I will select the specific columns, the columns which I required. I will select those columns. I want some email address from the customer table. Select email address from which table I want. I want that from sales customer. Yeah, we are getting around something 847 records. We are good. And now I will take some salesperson name here. Or else it will take something like the address type. We'll see. Select address type from customer. Okay. Okay, I want some address ID. I want some address ID. Okay, now what I will do, I want to pass that as input. Okay, now what I will do, I want address ID, right? Based upon the customer ID. Based upon the customer ID, I want the address ID. Assume, and here I will put something like the where exist I'm writing subquery select customer ID from customers where salesperson question or we will run this query. We'll put this into the next one. Yeah. And let me put the close brackets. Now, if I run this, right, I will get some data. See, I'm getting all the customer IDs. I'm getting something around out of like 840, right, 849 something. From that, I'm getting something around like 148 records I'm getting. And based upon that, and here, if I run this query, I'm getting something around 470, and like based upon this combination I want the data, and like what it will fetch, and if the value is exist, then it is going to display, else it will be ignored. See, 470, or else like we can put something like this also, like just to avoid the confusion. Instead of this, just I will put star, select the specific required data from here, instead of exist, where uh, the customer ID I will put here, customer ID equals to, just we can put something, so whatever the customer ID is matching, then those fields will be used. It will exist. Yeah, I do not allow the more than exist. No, it is not giving it, like we are doing some filter, right? It is taking something like the more number of values, so it is some glitch was happening over there. It won't take that. We need to pass something like the individual value. We'll take a look on that, the subquery part later. I'll show you that in detail. There are some glitch. Okay, like the exit is something like what it will do. Like we're having something like we're writing here. This is the actual query. This is the main query, and here you want to fetch some data, some address ID, and based upon some the customer address, like some data based upon some another field, and it fetches like whether this particular we will apply some subquery here, where select this customer ID from the sales LT customer, and the salesperson some will put some filter over there, and if that particular value is exist here, then accordingly the data will be added here, the data will be displayed here, and you can fetch something like whether the data is exist or not. You can do like some random checks over there, just for testing purpose it is mainly used, based upon some record. Okay, something like that it will be used. And we have something like the store procedure. The store procedures are very commonly used. And why this store procedure is used? The store procedure are used like whenever you are writing big queries, right? While you are learning, we are using very small queries. And when we go to the real time scenarios, right? We have to write like something like the big queries. Like it may consume something like 400, 500, or something like the thousands of lines will be there for each and every query. So many transformations and so many things will be involved in between. And during that time, it is not at all possible for each and every developer to rewrite every code each and every day. So, because of that reason, what we will do, we are having something like the store procedure concept. What that store procedure will do, like it holds a scheme, it holds a query. Like you don't need to write that query each and every time. Just you have to create a query, something like this. Create procedure name OC underscore demo. Just I gave some random name, just demo. And now here, like create procedure name. Just for to create this procedure, right? We need to write this syntax, SQL query syntax. Now as begin, and post this, you have to enter some values here. How you want to enter something like this. Here just I have added some procedure. Here assume like here we have added some logic, right? Assume like each and every day you are running this query. Assume each and every day you are running this query. Okay, and whatever the query I want to run and each and every day, just I will put it here. And post this, I will put end. Now I will execute this SQL syntax. See, the command executed successfully. Now I no need to run this query now. I will remove this query. Just I will select this store procedure. Select, so not select, ex easy, execute procedure. See, I haven't done anything, just I have created that procedure. And whenever I run that procedure, right, what it will do, like whatever the transformation, like whatever the SQL query I have added in that, right, that query will be executed. You no need to what I can say, like you no need to rewrite that query, because in real time, right, if you have something like the hundred thousands of lines, right, like it is very hard for you to rewrite that each and every day. Okay, instead of rewriting, just we will place our SQL code into the procedure, something like this. Yeah, create procedure name as begin, and insert that whatever the query we have, we will paste that, and then we will end. And in this query, in this SQL also, we have the option to pass a parameters, and we can define a parameters here, and we can pass those parameters here as well dynamically. Based upon that, like the data will be captured into that particular field. I will show you that in upcoming session. Like that will be used in mostly in Azure Data Factory side, like to capture the log data. And we have something like a case. Why this case is used? Case is something like whenever you have some case is mainly used something like uh, whenever you want to perform a case, right? Case is mainly used something like when else, something like that. When the condition satisfies, then okay. When the condition not satisfies, then go to another, something like that, right? For example, take this price. Let's take one table here, product table. Yeah, we have something like that product table, right? Now I want to apply some case here. Case here. Just I will put some numbers here. Select select what I want to select. I want to select name. I will select the name, comma, and I want to select the standard cost. Standard cost standard cost from sales product. From sales product. Yeah, I want to select. Now I want to categorize the prices here. Now what I will do was this case when the standard cost is greater than 13, greater than or equals to 13, then something I will add low, comma, okay. Again when standard cost, just as it is, so the yes, less than less than 50, medium, when standard cost is less than 500, just like you something. Okay. Has great. Just I took something like this. Now what we are doing something CASE. Here we are selected two fields. One is something like the name and another one is standard cost. And opposite we have written a case on the standard price. And based upon the price, right? If the greater than or equals to 13, then low, and like greater than 15, then medium, and like greater than 500, then will be high. Like that, we need to add some grades to this. And before this, we need to mark it as else to high. And we have to end the statement case. Okay, like this we have to write. And here when greater than 50, when greater than 500, else too high, and end as great. And like this separate field will be added on top of this case. Just let me select this. See, based upon the price, right? Based upon the price, it has been highlighted. Can you see something, right? Here, if I will put less than 13 is low, and just yeah, we can see the different process. Like this, you can add some grades on top of that. Like you can add some flags on top of your data. Like this case will be used. And like basically marks, and you want to segregate and like something like the outstanding, failed, or else like passed, or else like that on subject wise. If you want to divide the data, you can divide, and based on the max you provide his grade, you can provide something like that. For that, and we have something like the comments are used in
Anil, your voice is
SQL,
breaking.
right? Just comments whenever whatever the query you have written, and like the people can't able to understand like what is happening over, and so will add the comment. Just when you are writing SQL, SQL scripts, right? During that
Anil,
time, you
your
don't
voice is
want to
breaking a lot.
edit that. So instead of just like we can put some comment. For example, just query. Just what I will do, I will do this will be commented. This line will be commented. And whenever you add something like that, and whenever you add something like this, I want to mark complete this query notebook. I want to mark it as a star, and post this at the end. I will go to the bottom of the notebook
Uh,
and just I will add something like this.
Anil, hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, your voice is breaking
yeah.
a lot, actually.
How long it is happening?
Like it's been 2 minutes. Like we are trying to communicate to you, but uh,
Oh, sorry. Is
yeah,
it now? It's clear. Huh?
yeah. Now it's clear.
Okay. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. This one, the store procedure one, and like the last one which I have explained, the case that one is clear, right?
Yeah, Anil.
Okay. Okay, fine. In comments, right? Like whenever we write a SQL script, right? Like people can't able to understand like what you have written over there, and like some transformation, the business stakeholders, like whenever they see, whenever they look into the code, right? They can't able to understand like what is happening over there, and further, just for their understanding, just for their sake, and what we will do, like in between, like whatever the transformation we have written, just for identification purpose, like what is going over there, we will write some comments, we'll put some comments over there, and here you can able to add something like a single line comment. Single line comment means like here I have added something like a multi-line comment. Here I have added something like a multi-line comment. How, what's the difference between the multi-line and single line? See, while developing my code, like there will be some issues. Just I want to validate that. I don't want to remove the code, but like just what I will do, if I want to comment only that specific line, right? Just I have this code. I have this code. Just I have I will put it here, customer, and here if you see, here we have another table. We have two tables. Select star. Whenever I run, right, whenever I put this into another notebook, whenever I run, two notebooks will be executed, and but I don't want to delete uh, both the queries. I don't want to delete any one of that. Just I will, what I will do, I will mark it this as a comment. I'll put this as a comment, this line as a comment. And now I will execute. See, now only this product table will be executed. This will not be executed because this line has been commented. If you want to add a single line comment, you have to mark that particular line with hyphen hyphen. Then only that particular field will be marked as a single line comment. And we have something like multi-line comment, and you have something hundreds of lines, and you don't want it's not that much easy to add something like the line by line, right? So what we will do, like we will put something like this, the slash star and slash star slash. What this will do, like this will be marked as a multi-line comment, and whatever we written in between, right, the xyz thing, see everything that will be highlighted differently. See, that will be highlighted differently. See, this will call it as a multi-line comment. And in between, like you want, this is the SQL code, right? In between you want to add, you want to avoid this filter. Here also you can put something like this. See, only that particular transformation is marked as a comment. See, now I can execute this. See, data is coming. Only the weight class has been filtered now. Like this, you can add a multi-line and single line comment.